How do you feel a couple of days after the event?
A couple of days after, I think you're a little bit seedy. You've had a couple of big nights, but no, it's been great, and it's great to get back there again after such a period away from '96. So yeah, the boys have been fantastic, and it's been good fun.
We heard so much thrown at you guys, and I don't know what this gamesmanship about the pressure that was on, that you had to win this game. Was that a talking point amongst you guys?
I don't think it was a talking point. We tried to play it down a little bit around the club, but I know in the back of my mind, I knew there was a bit of pressure on after what happened last year, throwing away that grand final. So we wanted, you know, we think we're the best team in the 90s. We really had to win this game to prove that. So personally, I think there was a little bit in the back of my mind.
Glenn, tell us about that back line that you play in. Mickey Martin, Byron Pickett, John Blakey, yourself and so many others, just so desperate. And let's have a look at some of it here. Tell us about what it's like playing with Mighty Mick.
Oh, it's great. Especially when you're playing on plugger and you're coming back and he doesn't say anything to you. No, he's sensational. It was sensational yesterday. A couple of them bursting runs out of the back line. It was great.
And what about Byron Pickett? Now, he's just come of age, hasn't he?
He's been a sensation, Byron. The amount of times that he not only covers his own man, but everyone else's has been tremendous this year. And a guy that's only played probably 50 games, he's just been a sensation.
He's got the best left-hand punch spoil in the game. He comes from nowhere and it just can sneak it around, and just to get that fist on it, he's just uncanny, isn't he?
Yeah, he's done it probably 3 times for me on the weekend. Whitnall, I thought I was out of the contest. I'm going, he's going to take a mark 20 metres in front, and Byron come over and saved me. So
now, just before you do, you're a meek and mild guy. Why don't you have a look at the vision here? Just have a look at that.
Keep watching.
Have a keep watching. We're not letting off the hook yet. Just have a look at this one. Whoa! That is our cameramen. They are sensational. Look at this.
Now, what are we having a whack at there, Glenn? Lance's guts or the ball or what?
I made sure it missed. But, that's a backman. I mean, especially when you've got a tough job on Lance Whitnall. If he takes a mark on you, you get a bit upset.
We were talking about the defence as a unit. In terms of points against, I think you might have only finished 10th or something this year, and you've actually copped a bit of flack for the scores you've got through. But do you reckon, is that sort of irrelevant? Is it more the way the defence goes about the job and the sort of aggression at the man and the ball you show that outweighs the scores that you give up, do you reckon?
I think we lose a few points because we've got such a great attack. We get 10 goals in front sometimes, and probably, I don't know, switch off towards the end of games, and they kick 3 or 4 goals.
Does the style of play contribute to it? Because, I mean, you bring the ball into centre-half forward, if you turn it over, it rebounds fairly quickly, doesn't it?
Oh, that's right, because we don't chip it around at all. If you kick it along and it rebounds and they've got a couple of blokes at the fall of the ball, they can send it down really quick, which isn't good for me and Mick.
We've got some statistics that show attack versus defence, I think, over the last 10 premiers, and you'll have a look at the rankings. I think yours down there, it's a little bit thrown out because it's 10th, but if you take after the first 4 or 5 rounds where I think you got a bit kicked against you, you actually finish very high after that period of time.
I think that, thanks Arch, I think that our ranking's been low, but if you look at the 6 guys that are down there, or maybe the 8 guys that sort of play through there, they're very good players, and you know, they're capable in their day. I mean, sure enough, we get goals kicked against us every now and then, but those 6 guys are pretty complete.
What about Shannon Grant's performance on the weekend, and particularly the goals? I mean, it's just so handy to have a little bloke who can chip in with 3 or 4 goals too, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's the best part of his game, his finishing. You know, especially in the start of the game when your nerves are at its highest, to kick a goal, you know, on an angle like that, it was sensational.
If you're a North Whittle man, you're sort of expected to kick goals, aren't you? And
David, what did you think when you saw that one take a leg break and bounce through?
Oh, it was fantastic, and it was at the vital stage of the game, and he had a lot to prove himself, Shannon, yesterday, and you could see that in his preparation and the way that he played, and I'm wrapped for him to win the North Smith medal. Was just fantastic. He copped a lot of criticism, so it's great.
Well, we'll have a look here. I mean, you can see the, not from me, didn't you can just have a look at the comparison here. And 96, well, 5 kicks, 3 handballs, couple of marks. 98, 5 kicks, 5 handballs. Well, he's tripled his kicks and, well, he's quadrupled his goals.
And you have to say, you know, when you're playing a losing grand final, there's not many good players anyway. So I don't think that the media did harp about, you know, that he hadn't performed.
Yeah, not all the media, just some sections of the media.
No, not you. I'm Patrick. Where are you?
He's over here. Glenn's talking about Patrick Smith, who wrote something about Shannon Grant at one stage. You guys, you don't forget those things, do you?
No, I remember last year actually, I think you traded about 8 of us and delisted 6 of us. So I didn't want to bring that up, but now you did. Well,
I don't think you were on the trade list though, were you?
yeah, I was.
Oh, you
actually.
were, right.
Me, Shannon.
That's great, isn't it? Dennis has said nothing all year and come out and started potting everyone up back in the flag. And now these blokes.
It was 3. I was to tell you, if he wants to know, it was me, Shannon Grant, Martin Pike. All 3 of us got traded for one player.
I reckon there's
Who was the player?
I don't know who it was, but
There's one gun though you won't pot, and I thought that if Carlton were to do well, Matthew Allen had to be a good player. If Matthew Allen could see away Capuano, he could disrupt you. But I thought Matty Capuano was absolutely fantastic for you, right from the first bounce. And when he started to get back into that back half and shore you guys up when you're under a bit of pressure early, was great, wasn't he?
Oh, especially in that first half, he was sensational when we set the game up. You know, I thought before the game as well that Capu's had to have a really good game for us to do well.
We've seen him taking a couple of those good grabs there.
When he's coming back in the back line like that, it's great for us just to plug up the holes, even if he's not taking the mark, just to, you know, plug up some gaps.
Probably needed that bit of support with Jason McCartney out of the team. That you just had that player who was 6'4" missing, who'd been there all season. So was that one of the things that Dennis said was for Capuano and John Longmire when he came into the ruck to push across half-back to help you out?
Yeah, I think the last half of the year, us blokes in the back line have been harping for the blokes to come back and clog up space. And with Jason out, it was crucial that we had a big bloke that can get back and do it well.
Well, Glenn, we're going to go to Jason McCartney. What's been happening the last day or two?
It's been pretty hectic, as you can see by the 2 blokes on the panel. It has been a hectic time, and it's been a hard week for myself personally, but just to be around the boys at the weekend, and especially yesterday, saying to Greg Miller and you know, the hierarchy of the club, how much better it was yesterday than it was this time 12 months ago.
How do you feel, Jason, just having the support of your teammates and the sort of the public tributes they paid to you? Does it make you feel like you're really part of it anyway, as much as you can be?
Yeah, it was pretty overwhelming actually. Yesterday morning to go out and be presented on stage, I never thought I'd feel like it before, but I felt like Wayne Carey for a minute, the chance I got. So, no, it was overwhelming.
I thought one of the great things from your point of view, Jace, was that you came out, you took your medicine, and you were up front and you became an ambassador for the team. Didn't shy away from what had happened. And I thought that was fantastic. And I thought also was the fact that after the game, for us to be able to watch you, as we're doing now, to see the reaction of your teammates. John Longmire coming up there to you now, we thought that was magnificent. How were you feeling at that point?
Yeah, well, I suppose when Johnny Longmire came up to it, he made it hard because I've seen him had to go through it before, and just all the boys were fantastic. And I suppose with coming out and sort of facing the music, I thought there's no good hiding from it. And I had to train well during the week. You can't be seen and to be moping around the club, because for the 22 guys that played, it was the biggest day of their lives. So I couldn't drag the side down. So and as we spoke, the tribunal wasn't until Tuesday night, so I had a couple of nights training before that. And I just had to treat it as if I was playing and try and block that out, that I wasn't going to be, and just try and have the best week possible on the track.
Was John Longmire able to tell you anything about, just coping with the missing out and the feelings afterwards? Was he able to sort of soften the blow in terms of preparing you for how you'd feel?
No, he didn't have to say too much. I think just a couple of phone calls from John, and just the fact that the times he spoke to me, he didn't say a lot, but just I suppose the presence of him, and I think what he did was pretty courageous. Even last year when he was fit, it was pretty emotional to see him in the rooms before the game, and going up to each player and shaking the hand and wishing the best. It took a lot of courage. So, I took a bit from that.
Jason, thanks for joining us tonight. You played in 24 of the 25 games. Let's hope that you can do a John Longmire in the next year or two. So thanks for coming in.
Thanks very much.
An important time in the game. The third quarter, I think, Carlton came at you. Corey McKernan's come out and taken that mark, spun around from almost near the centre square, and we'll have a look at how he goes back. I'm sure, if I remember, he's almost just on the line, and it just goes like a rocket, doesn't it?
I didn't even realise he was that far out. I thought he was about 50 yards.
It's a lifter. It's got to be a lifter to you.
Yeah, especially when it's so close, and you know, things like that make the game, and you know, to do that, it just gave us all a buzz. It was just great.
Phil Manassa.
David,
No, Phil Manassa kicked the goal at the end of it.
I just love to see players back themselves and do that.
It's a team man.
Is that something that Dennis encourages you to do? Like, what happens if you muck up?
Oh, if I make a mistake, generally it comes back on Arch or Mick, but, you know, because they go the key forwards, and that's what I said today, and I've said time and time again that guys like myself and Byron Pickett are allowed that liberty because we've got, you know, great players like Arch and Mick to cover us, and if we make a mistake, they fix us up.
I just want to ask a question about Pickett. I mean, there are quite a few of us thought maybe, and no disrespect to Shannon Grant, a few of us thought maybe Pickett might have won the Norm Smith medal. And, a few North people were saying that night, well, Lapin got away from him a little bit in the second quarter. But I just wonder, you know, to what extent is he responsible for Lapin kicking goals anyway when his role in the defence is to sort of run and create as well as to hit hard?
Yeah, that's right. You can't. I know he tries it with Byron. You get the best of both worlds. You get the hard stuff and the running stuff. And when he's running out, taking a bounce and kicking it long, his man's sitting back somewhere. So if it turns over quickly, it could.
And is that okay with you, Bucks? I mean, you've got to go over and cover it.
Because more times than not, it's going to come up for us. So
I think often, a lot of time with Byron too, that opposite sides target the player that Byron's on maybe and lower, you know, try and pick that guy out to kick a couple of goals. And if he does kick two, has he won or has he lost? Who knows?
Yeah. David, what did Dennis say to you regarding Carlton? He must have said, well, look, if we can beat them at this and this, we go a long way to winning the game. So were there a couple of Carlton players or tactics targeted?
Yeah, I think it was the obvious one was the midfield. I think they probably got one of the best, if not the best, midfield in the competition, and that was the main thing all week, is trying to combat them and trying to get Steve-O off his blister on his toe. Get out and come out and play.
Fairly serious blister, Glenn.
He didn't carry it very well, neither did he? I thought there was another interesting matchup, and the pressure was, there was a lot of pressure on a couple of players. I thought Aaron Hamill and McCartney, both under pressure during the week, speculation, innuendo, and Hamill had been such a very key play to them in the lead-up, hasn't he?
Stan, have a look at the touch. Mick Martin is the best defender in the competition at playing tight on his opponent. He's got touch. He won't give him a free yard. He's always making sure as soon as Hamill moves, he's got a knee into him, he's got an arm into him, he just blocks his run. Just terrific. Good old-fashioned full-back.
You know what he does? He gets the forwards where he wants them. With all that pushing and that, if you just watch him, the forwards don't get where they want to start. Mick gets them. He's like a bloody cowboy. He just herds them up, doesn't he?
And what do you think about Mick's Weet-Bix ads?
I don't know. The boys have laughed about it. He's got the widest mouth for someone who says Weet-Bix. He goes Weet-Bix like that. So the boys often laugh about it.
OK, David, we're going to have a real close-up on your premiership medallion there, so would you mind just sort of giving us a good look at it now?
Well, did we think it was really a golden ruff or something, did we?
How about that? Kangaroos, premiers, and there's a kangaroo on it.
Don't forget the Nike there.
Oh, the Nike there. Well, put it next to the swoosh. OK.
New contract.
And you're waiting for the deal to come, are you, Arch? You haven't got anything on there.
I've got the filler sheets.
Give us a look at it, mate.
Nike.
We should.
Nike wouldn't sponsor him.
Come on, I reckon we should get Anthony Stevens on to find out if it was a blister. Get him to get his foot up here.
While Anthony comes in, what about showing us the kangaroo tattooed on your... Is it on your ankle or your rump?
If he had...
No, let's not.
If he didn't have some Nike boots, this wouldn't have happened in the first place.
Well done, Anthony.
Now, is it a break or what was the extent of the damage? I mean, you can tell us now.
No, I had a fracture in the heel and just a bit of ligament damage, but it's more or less a sprain, so...
How many injections?
Probably 4 or 5.
Have you ever run onto the ground for a game limping before?
Actually, I thought I was running all right in the first quarter. I was pretty happy with the way I was running, but when I hurt my shoulder, that was kind of the end of me after that. So.
And did you really hurt the shoulder? Or?
I did actually, yeah.
Anthony, terrific. I think everyone here wants to congratulate you. You've been a terrific player for many years, well over 200 games, couple of premierships now. Well done. You're going to have a good summer?
Oh, probably a big one.
Are you off to Mexico?
Yeah, I'll be there for sure. Because Arch bagged me for last year, not going, so I'll be there.
Going to Ireland.
Okay.
Get that medal out.
All right, we must thank the Kangaroo boys for coming in. It's terrific. As you can see, they're enjoying their premiership win, and why not? So, David, thanks for coming in. Glenn, thanks for coming in.